the text we have to here addresses something really important, actually. It addresses the image we have of God. And what sort of God do we think he is? Because that changes the way we behave towards him. If you think that God is a monster, why would you want to have anything to do with him? Why pray? If God for you is a friend, if God for you, well, if he's a friend, then you would enjoy spending time with him. If God for you is a loving father, a caring father, that changes everything, I guess. It's the joy of spending that time with one who loves you unconditionally, compared to one who maybe doesn't love you, or maybe one whom you've got to be afraid of or worried about. And this is what's happening here in this text. It addresses this issue. We've got Jesus, seek and you shall find, knock on the door you shall be opened, and we've got Queen Esther. Queen Esther has to come before the king. There has been an edict put in place by the king. Some sneaky guy has got in around the king and managed to persuade the king to sign this edict that basically exterminates all the Jews in the country. And Esther has discovered this, and she has to do something about it. She's now the queen, and the king is the one who signed the order. Somebody signed on his behalf. So she's the only one who can do anything, and she has to approach the king. But she knows if she approaches the king without being summoned by him, the penalty is death. And so she has to risk her life. She has to put her life on the line to save her people. Does that remind you of anyone? Jesus, who lays his life down to save you and I, his people. And she has to do that. And what we're hearing today in the first reading is her preparation, her prayer before the Lord as she goes in to meet this king. And she is repenting on behalf of the people of Israel for their sins, and she is placing herself in his hands. She's entrusting herself to God. But I think it's why I want to look at it is because it's who she's going to see. She's got God on her side. God on her side. That is a given. She is placing her life in the hands of God. She is entrusting herself to him. And then she goes to meet the king to make the plea. She's not in fear of the one she's praying to. She's in fear of the one she's going to have her the request made. And often as Christians or as ordinary people, we can go towards God as Esther would to that king. There's that fear. He's not going to give me what I want. I have to beg and plea and this is someone who's going to destroy me or hurt me or cause me harm when I come before him. And Jesus is saying, no, that is not the case. Ask and you will be given. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. God wants to give you things that are good. He compares, there's a contrast between the father, you who are parents, who know how to give your children good things, you who are evil, know how to give good things to your kids, and God, who is the loving Father, who is all good, not evil, all good, all love. And if you who are evil know how to give good, how much more he who is good, who is holy, who is love, how much more will he give you good gifts, good things? You are not approaching a king who will destroy you for coming into his presence. You're not approaching somebody who is evil. You're approaching somebody who is good, perfectly good. And there should be no fear when approaching love. Because that love is for you and it's unconditional. He wants to give you what is good. So ask for it. Seek it. Open the door to it. He wants to give you the greatest good. That is himself.